Hello everyone, this is Boricua Binks and welcome back to Let's Play the Confines of the Crown. Have not touched this game in long time. I was very busy, distracted. I actually used to stream this game, but now I have decided to just record the rest of it. I'm probably only going to play one playthrough of it for this LP because it's feeling pretty lengthy and I know there's multiple routes and stuff, so should be interesting just to see which one I land on because at the moment I'm like, I don't know. Interesting how... End of second stream. um, yeah, I have no idea what year this was, but I'm gonna guess 2020? Maybe 2021? I don't know. I see the way I've labeled everything, which is pretty good. I think I'm going to keep up with labeling that, so in case I ever do decide to do more than one route, I'll be able to pick up where I left off, I guess. So, let's continue on from the last one it shows, from July 31st of XX year. I remember we left off with a cliffhanger that we went to check on our prince after something bad happened, and then we found him being held at knife point or sword point by this hot guy. Okay, so what the heck are we gonna do is my thing. I'm like, I don't know, man. Just look at this. So his hands are tied up. Interesting. Huh. Okay. Drowning my heart's panicked cry, I force myself to examine the situation in detail. Oscar's eyes are wide over the silken gag, probably stray hose. I don't see any signs of further injury or struggle. Callum's actions must have taken him completely by surprise. How could either of us have guessed the prince was a madman? Think! Stall for time! Think! Oh yeah, her name's Madeline. You can't possibly mean that. He looks so different from his portrait, like the art style. It always throws me off, like, for example, in The Letter, or, you know, a lot of these visual novels, it throws me off when the art style, like the artist might be a completely different person, whoever did like the CGs or the background images compared to the little portraits. And then I'm like, why do they look so different? But man, I bet, you know, being an indie developer is a struggle, so I can't judge y'all. It just looks so disorienting when you look at someone, you're like, kind of looks like them, but kind of not. I don't remember what voices I did for anybody. You're already suspect. This bow. He nudges very slightly with his blade, and Oscar flinches. It was the last one with my sister, and you have been creeping about like a spider. If I kill you both and claim self-defense, do you think anyone will have questions? That presumes you can win. Perhaps you could hold me off with your little stings, but too late for your livelihood here. You're bluffing. You wouldn't dare murder a visiting prince, especially not like this, tied up, his blood all over your clothes. If I scream for the guards, you couldn't possibly have the time to clean up the evidence. He laughs. Clever. You are the one I need. Hmm? I don't want his blood or any part of him. But if we can't make a deal, I will have to call for the guards, and we'll see what happens. What do you want from me? Your oath. You serve me without question until Cassidy is safe, and no knife in my back. And you expect me to cooperate when you're threatening my friend? I need a partner I can trust absolutely, and this is the only leverage I've got. I don't have time to argue. Your oath, now. There's really no choice to be made. I can't let him harm Oscar. Fine, I'll do what you want. Formal oath. He presses his bare palm to the edge of his sword just long enough to break the skin, and then holds it out to me. Ouch. A blood vow. That's what he wants. My hand and my blood matched to his. My honor subject to his will. A privilege that, until now, has belonged to Oscar alone. And by that bond, I can't refuse. Fighting down a feeling of panic at events moving beyond my power to control them. I remove my glove and scratch across my palm. Then, before Oscar's eyes, I place my hand in Callum's, skin to skin. I offer you my service and obedience until the rescue of Princess Cassidy. Within limits, I won't murder for you, and I won't die for you. And if any harm comes to Oscar, the deal is off. Okay, I'm glad she placed limits. Hopefully he'll agree to that. Pushy, aren't you? But he takes his sword away from Oscar's throat, and in one motion sheathes it. You said you wanted a partner. Partners speak up. If you don't mind, I'd like to take that thing off him now. As long as you can keep him under control. My fingers are already moving to loosen the gag. Pluh! Maddie, what are you doing? You can't work for him. He's lost his head. I glare at Oscar and hope that for once he'll read the message in my eyes. Don't provoke him, you dummy. It's too late for arguments now. My oath is given, and this is the situation we have, so we'd better make the best of it. If he's trying to save the princess, he is our ally. And staying close to Callum means being able to keep an eye on him. Not that I can explain that at the moment. Please, Oscar, trust me. He's a knock-knee, double-crossing sneak. I liked him better with the muzzle. OT3? Of course my brain immediately jumps there. I'm like, ooh, spicy. OT3. We'll see. We'll see if they bond in some way, or if they keep bickering. That'd be kind of cute too. I wave my hands through the air, gesturing the two of them apart. Both of you, no biting. No biting or no fighting. He's like, but I love biting. It's kinky. Oh, you guys, stop. But, fine. This day keeps building up more and more apologies that I owe him. It's all worthwhile so long as he is safe and whole for me to apologize to. So, how are we supposed to rescue Cassidy? The whole castle's looking for her already. And what do you know that they don't? I have the ransom note. We bring the gold, they bring the princess. How do you know it's genuine? There was a lock of her hair. If you have a rendezvous point, why not take some guards and go fetch her? You do what I say without questions. Right. He said he needed someone without connections. Perhaps he's afraid that any guard he relied on could be in the employ of the Duke and Duchess. It would be easy to arrange an accident during a hostage exchange. He is paranoid, but not completely without reason. Oscar sighs and leans against the door frame. He's looking a bit pale. The stay has taken a heavy toll on him, both emotionally and physically. Come on, we have work to do. Just you, Valoy. He stays here. Leave Oscar alone? Okay, next choice. I guess this is 7th choice? 7th choice. Save. Alright. I think I already was kind of starting down Oscar's path, which is, you know, they have the whole childhood friends thing. They're practically in love already. As interesting as Callum is, Let's just stick with Oscar for now. May we have a minute first? Callum looks back and forth between Oscar and myself. Either you trust me or you don't. I agreed to work with you. I need to talk to my friend.
Fine, I will wait. Briefly.
He steps out the door, leaving me alone with Oscar. We look at each other, and the first words out of each of our mouths are exactly the same. Are you alright? Aw, they're cute. You first. I'm always a sucker for, like, childhood friend thing. Like, I always feel bad in the stories where if there's multiple options or even like a love triangle when she picks the guy who wasn't always there for her, you know? The guy who she grew up with, the guy who's her best friend. And I get it, because sometimes, you know, you just don't see them that way. You just see them as a brother or a friend, but damn, is it painful sometimes. I'm like, damn, man, he was always there for you, even though the brooding hot guy is really hot. Come on. You know, I just mentally am like, I would always choose the nice guy, the friend over the mysterious stranger. Like, that's just who I am. But yeah, I get it. Oh, I'm fine. Aw. He came in, said he wanted to talk, but he didn't say much. He asked where you were, and I didn't know what to tell him. I said I sent you to the kitchens for a snack. I don't think he believed that. He took my hand, and then all of a sudden he twisted it up behind my back, tied me up, pushed me aside. It all happened so fast. I mean, when he first took my hand, I thought it was a booty call or something. Twice in one night. You must think I'm completely hopeless. Both times I wasn't with you. It's my fault, not yours. I really love the music for this game. It's so good. I'm a sucker for like a Spanish guitar, you know, or gypsy guitar, or whatever it's called. He pulls a long-nosed face. A long-nosed face? What? Did he become... Oh my gosh, Coco, I'm just thinking of Jet right now. Like, his nose suddenly became super long. I didn't know what was going on, and he'd stuffed me like a goose, so I couldn't even squawk. He just waited. The phrasing. The phrasing. Okay. Then we heard the outer door open, and he drew his sword and went out there. And I heard the fight, and I thought... I was afraid. I'm fine. He tried to kill you. I've had rougher sparring matches, so have you. I'm not even scratched. Really, I'm fine. He's a dangerous man. I don't like the thought of you alone with him. I'm not going off with him like that. He's forced you into things already. Reaching forward, he takes my hand and turns it over to display the mark of an unwilling oath. What else would he make you do? The reason I left in the first place was to rescue Cassidy. That's still the plan. He's got a lead, that's all. You don't have to do this. We could find someone else to turn to. I gave him my word. As long as he doesn't try to force me to act outside honor, I don't intend to break it. It's better to make friends than enemies, right? He stands there looking at me, and his eyes are old and tired. I have to go. Come back safe. I squeeze his hand in acknowledgement, and I make my exit. Callum is waiting for me, leaning too casually against the wall beside the door.
I was listening, you know.
I know. Trust only goes so far. So, what now?
We need to assemble the ransom money. 2,000 golden ducators.
That's quite a sum. But not that much for a princess, really.
I suspect our kidnapper lacks imagination.
You don't happen to have that gold sitting around in your chambers?
No, we will have to obtain it from the royal treasury.
This is your palace. Can't you just requisition funds?
We need to obtain the coin without attracting notice.
Okay, hence the Mission Impossible style music. Rob the royal treasury. Right. How does he imagine we're going to pull that off? Picking a lock is out of the question. Treasuries are always guarded. And yet, despite myself, I'm starting to find the prospect interesting. It's a challenge, a puzzle that I can understand and solve.
This is why I needed a suitably discreet partner. Rather, suitably distracting.
I hope you don't expect me to jiggle at the guards. I'd look ridiculous. Oh, that's funny.
Too obvious. I have a plan. It all depends on how convincing you can be.
Oh, here we go. The carpet beneath my feet is thick and plush, muffling the sound of my footfalls, which is not to say that there is no warning of my approach. In this part of the palace, the walls are inset with viewing windows, enabling guards to keep an eye on foot traffic in all directions. After all, you wouldn't want anyone being able to sneak into the royal treasury. One guard on duty, his attentive gaze dutifully sweeping back and forth, with the occasional check behind him. Good. There was little in the way of extra ornamentation in these corridors. No paintings on the walls, no hothouse blooms forced into show, only the patterned and gilded ceiling tiles. I craned my neck upwards to stare at the muted, non-reflective golden surfaces, paying no attention to where I'm walking. Oh! That is, of course, the moment that my foot catches on the edge of that plush length of carpet, throwing me to the ground with a thump. I don't cry out all that loudly. I've only tripped. It's nothing serious. I'll just climb back to my feet. Ow! And that is when I first attempt to put weight onto my left ankle. This time the noise I'm making is enough to draw the guard a few steps away from his post. Still more than close enough to see anyone approaching, but now also able to get a better look at me.
Are you all right, miss?
I'm fine. I wave him away and try again to place my foot on the ground, then pull it back with a sharp hiss and clutch at the wall for support. I distinctly do not look at the guard, but male instinct prompts him to step a little closer to my obvious, if false, distress.
Can you walk?
I'm not sure.
I'll call for another guard to help you to your room.
No, please don't. I'll be all right. I just need to rest for a few minutes.
You can't rest here, miss.
I use the wall for support and take a hesitant step, trying to look as fragile as possible. Just a little bit longer.
You can't walk on your own. I'll have to summon someone.
I don't want to be a bother.
It is my duty.
No need. Oh, is it Callum?
No need.
Yep. Prince Callum walks out of the treasury, which he entered earlier, in full view of the guard, under the pretext of returning a bit of royal jewelry worn at the ball. Long, smooth strides bring him swiftly to my side, and avoid the possibility of any inconvenient jingling.
I will escort this young woman. Yes, your highness.
Callum bends, bringing his shoulders to a level where I can more easily fling a grateful arm around them. As he straightens, his support pulls me against him, not so coincidentally helping to conceal the faint bulge produced by stowing a large bag of coins out of sight. He nods to the guard.
Carry on.
And we leave the man to lock the door behind us, now that the gold has already flown away. Alright, that was smooth. I thought I'd have to do something. We keep up the charade on our return to Oscar's quarters in case of observation. Caution costs nothing, except my pride. I cannot help but feel strange, clinging as I am to the body of a man I barely know, a prince of hidden schemes and unpredictable violence. Callum is well-muscled, stronger, and more solidly built than Oscar, and pressed so close to me that I can feel the heat of his flesh. My duties to my prince have not left me time for much experience with the rougher sex. The support of his arm should, I suppose, make me feel safe and protected. Instead, it leaves me off balance and vulnerable. It would be easy in this position for him to accidentally brush, to slide a possessive arm around my waist, to belittle me for the helplessness I have been made to feign. And yet his hands never stray. Oh, so he has some respect, okay. Failure to act like an odious brute at every opportunity does not make him a hero. It only means that he is, at worst, not that sort of villain. What sort of man is Prince Callum? So far he has revealed little but anger and ruthless determination. I have been forced to give him my allegiance, and for safety's sake, I must pretend complete loyalty. But that does not stop me from thinking. His secrecy suggests that he has enemies within the palace, or else he was quite clearly bitter about his position as the youngest son, and it does not seem that Frederick and Paloma are expending much effort to polish him for a good marriage. But if he rescued a princess from peril, the same act of heroism that I had hoped to achieve for Oscar might instead benefit Callum. He could not be rewarded with his sister's hand, of course, but the story would travel. If that is his plan, it would make no difference to him if Oscar were to receive a small bit of the glory, or even the affections of this particular princess. We could still stand to gain. But rationally, is the chance of playing hero worth the risk he took by attacking myself and Oscar, by threatening murder? It doesn't add up unless he actually genuinely cares about his sister, right? Either there's something I'm not seeing, or Callum is not acting rationally. Which is worse? The instant the door closes behind us, Oscar rushes to my side. Madeline! I'm fine, it was an act. I retract my arm from Callum's shoulders and stand on my own 2 feet.
Your assistance was competent.
Is that supposed to be a thank you? But you can't thank someone for doing what you forced them to, can you? Oscar, it's all right. No, it's not. He turns to face Callum. Are you done with her?
Hardly. This was only the first step. We have the ransom, now we have to reach the rendezvous.
And where's that?
Forest, couple of miles away.
Outside the palace? The guards may have missed the initial intrusion, but they're certainly guarding all exits now. Which means you know a secret way out. He only nods, his eyes locked on Oscar's. I hold my breath, anticipating an explosion, but when Oscar speaks, his words are carefully measured. You're not taking her without me.
I need a blade I can rely on. That means her and not you.
I am not actually that bad with a sword. Whatever's going on, you expect it might end in a fight. Wouldn't 3 on your side be better than 2? He's thinking it through. Good for you, Oscar. Oh, so proud. If you really didn't trust him, you wouldn't want to leave him here while you're not even in the palace.
Can he actually fight?
Would you care to try me?
I'm asking her, not you.
He's a prince, of course he can fight.
But is he any good, compared to, say, myself?
That question is a trap, plain and simple. Whatever I say, they will both hear it. Oh, I have 3 choices now. I'll just leave it as that. If let's see, he is good in a fair fight. Oh, that's fighting words. He's not as good as you. He's better than you. I don't know if we really want to... even though this might make him happy to hear, it might be a lie, because I don't think he's that good from what she was saying before, right? But this might be bad for both of them. To say he's good in a fair fight might anger him and might also make him be like, well, this is not going to be a fair fight, so why am I going to bring him? He's not as good as you. Okay, well, I'm on Oscar's path anyway, so I might as well lie and butter him up, even though he's probably not better than him. I raise my chin. He could defeat you.
You're a liar. Loyal, but a liar.
Of course, Callum has already defeated Oscar tonight, hasn't he? Perhaps I overstate his skills, but when you surprised him here earlier, he wasn't armed. That's not a fair comparison to how he'd react if he were expecting trouble. Nice save. He won't embarrass you, if that's what you're asking. In all truth, I'm not certain whether or not it is a good idea to take Oscar along. It depends on what Callum's plans really are, and that is a question I can't answer. He's assembled a ransom, but as Oscar said, he sounds like he's preparing for a fight. Maybe he's just guarding himself in case the kidnappers try to capture him as well. Or maybe there's something else going on here. If there's a battle waiting for us, Oscar could get hurt. But with all the secrets and schemes going on here, I'm not sure that leaving him behind would be safer. If Callum actually didn't trust Oscar, he might have arranged for something to happen to him once I was out of the way. Or any of the other nobles might come around asking questions. No, I can't leave the palace without him. He's my responsibility, and I must not abandon him. I can never forgive myself if something went wrong without me there to defend him. And if it comes to a battle, then at least I would have someone at my back whose loyalty I could rely on. Callum I can't trust. Oscar I could never doubt. Okay, I'm looking at the time. We're almost to 30 minutes, so I'm thinking this is a good place to leave this episode. So let me save here and say end of episode. Alright, so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this. I'm excited to get back into this game. It's pretty enjoyable so far. I'm really liking it. Yeah, and until next time, have a nice day. Bye!